Hello everyone, this is Vinay here from Learn Coding with Vinay, and this is video number 6 of our video series where we are building contact list API using ASP.NET Core and ChatGPT as our coding assistant. In the previous video, we implemented login and register method. In this video, we will be working on CRUD operation of a group, right? That's what we usually have done in our mobile. We create a group, add contact to it, right? So at this moment, we will just concentrate on CRUD operations of group. So let's move further with this. Now, if you have gone through previous video, then the last response from ChatGPT had suggested us to start with user contact and user groups, right? But since user contact actually will require group, so we will first get the group user groups CRUD in, then we will work on the user contact. So for this, since it's a very short requirement, I have not written the prompt, so let me write the prompt in background and then I'll explain. So this time the prompt will be quite simple. I am telling ChatGPT that since user contact will require group, let's work on CRUD of user group first. Let's push it and see what does ChatGPT comes up with. Yeah, so ChatGPT has generated the response. Let's go through it. That what we are building. That create a group, get group by user. Okay, get group by ID. Okay, this is also good. Update group and delete group. Okay, so these are usually 5 operations when we talk about CRUD. These 5 operations we are supposed to implement for any entity. Let's move further. And again, we are not exposing real entity, so it has suggested to create DTOs. So this is create user DTO, which has only user ID and group name, which is good with all possible validation. This is also good. Now update user group DTO. This is for updating a particular group. So basically, group is a very simple entity. We have only ID and group name, ID, user ID, and group name, right? So all user can update is the only the group name, right? So it is quite simple, ID and group name. Okay, group response DTO. Okay, so in return, it will return as the ID and group name. Okay, ideally it should return the user ID also, but that is not required. That's okay. And then the operations are given, right? Okay, so first one is the create, right? If model state is invalid, it returns okay valid user. If user exists, okay, user not found. Okay, it is also telling if user not found. Excellent. Create group, then it is creating the group, adding it and returning the created group. So this is good. Then the update, get all groups for of a no sorry get all group of a user. Okay, integer ID user, and then it is returning the all group name. Okay, this is also good. Now get by ID. Okay, single ID, this is good. Put operation update. Okay, here it is requesting one group name is equal to group name, and okay, so this is also good. However, one suggestion I would like to have over here in the update operation, you know every user can update or delete. For update and delete, should be able to update and delete their corresponding groups only, right? For here, if we talk about this operation update, right, it accepts the update user DTO which has ID only and the name to be updated and the ID, which is at a moment good. But if we test this API, we can update basically any ID and any group irrespective of the user ID, right? I don't want that the user ID and group name should be the combination of for particular user only. So what I'm trying to say over here is, with this update operation, we can update any group name irrespective of user ID, right? But I don't want that. I want to have only those update or deletion those are matching that user ID and group name. So what I'm trying to say over here is, a user's group can only be updated or deleted by that particular user only. So we need to pass user ID also, and we need to query user ID over here, not just ID also, not just ID. We need to also query user ID, right? So let's put it down. Let's put this down. to ChatGPT. For update operation, we should also include user ID, because with current current implementation we can update any group name irrespective of the user ID. Ideally, update and delete both should happen for correct user ID and group name combination only. So I hope it understands. User ID, group name, and only. Let's say what does it has to say. Okay, so it is generating the response. And let's say it says excellent observation. Okay, this is exactly the kind of thinking separate working correct code and correct secure code. Okay, you are 100% right. Okay, design principles. Okay, pass user ID with explicitly ID plus user ID combination. Okay, now let's see. Now it has updated the user DTO with ID, user ID, and group name, which is good. And in the update, it was previously retrying using only the ID, but now it should retry using ID plus user ID, right? So we will have to make sure that we are only updating, only the user can update his or her group name. So this way we can restrict it. Okay, and the similar way, delete is this. It has given. Now over here it has included user ID also. Now, but we will come to delete operation again, because there is one more catch in delete also that we will discuss later. But let's try. Let's at least implement this step by step. So let me go up from the first step. Right. So what I'll do, I'll in the background I'll create these DTOs 1, 2, 3, right, and I'll create all these operations, right, and I'll come back to shorten the video and save time, right. So I'm pausing the video and I'll come back. Right. So let me tell you what I did. I created these all three DTOs: create user group DTO, update user group DTO, and this time we have added user ID, user group response, right. So here you will get ID and group name. Now let's move to the next step now. Now the next step says, create in the controller, create this controller, user groups controller. Okay, and put down this code one by one by one. So let's do this. So let's create the controller first. I'll go to controller, add controller. Again, while the controller selection pop-up comes up, make sure you are selecting API, not MVC controller. API, empty. And the name should come over here. Right. We will change the name to the name what ChatGPT has given us. Add. Okay, so we have the code now. Now we will go one by one. We'll add code one by one over here. So let's say copy this one. Again, it has injected the DB context using constructor. So this is what we will be doing. So I think we'll have to copy paste from here. Okay, and it should be contact list API. Contact list API, and this should also be contact list API. Right, so this is all good. Let's move to the next. Now the create method. So let's copy this entire method and paste it in our controller. Okay, get by id. Okay, that method will come, so we'll put down there get user. Okay, get user all group. Here you go. And next one, get group by id. Excellent. Control v. So that error should have also gone from create. Where is that? Get by id. Yeah, because it is retrieving again the one which is created, and it is returning the newly created group. That's why it has used it over there. Now update put. Now we will not take this. We will not take this because we have down below again the discussion with the updated one. Right. So we'll take this update. Control V, and then we will take the delete also. Copy. Right. Okay. Let me save this. Let me build this project, and let's see if there are any errors or not. By the time, let's go to the ChatGPT response and build. Sorry, check out the delete operation. So what it is in the delete, it is retrieving user groups. Okay, if group not found. Okay, then group contains context. Remove them first. Okay, so here it has checked that whether the group has context or not. Right. So if it has group has context, then it is saying that remove the contact group first. So this is handled. Okay, this is handled. This is good. I thought this was not handled. Or otherwise, what we can do when we are deleting the group, rather than returning this response, we can delete the group context here and here only. Right. So whatever group is coming, we will delete all the context. Basically, we will deassociate context from that group. Context will be there. We are not deleting context. We will deassociate the context from the group. So let's okay. So rather than let's having this error message, I will tell ChatGPT. Okay, for delete operation, rather than this code, can we just have the code that deletes group context? Basically deassociate context from the group. Context. Let's push this and see what does it come up with. Excellent. So it has given us the code delete now, updated code, where rather than checking what it is doing, see over here, understand this. It is retrieving user group, and with include, it is also retrieving all the context within that all groups. Right. So include will actually bring up the child entities also. And over here, it is checking group dot user context has any. So basically, user group context has any record for this particular group, then it is deassociating, basically removing all those group context from the group context table. And this is what we wanted, and then removing the, and then ultimately removing the group. Right. So excellent. This is a good code. Now let's copy this and put it down in our Visual Studio. By the time we also had built the project and it was successfully done. Right. So we will just replace the delete method with the new one. Right. So hopefully this should also work. Now let's go ahead and run this and let Swagger come up, and we will see what is happening over here. Okay. groups. So Postman is open. Let's we already have collection created. Let's create request over here. First of all, let's go to Swagger and let's take this. You know, get all user group of a user. First, let's now over here, come over here, create new request. Yeah, give it a name. Get all groups of a user. And so we remember next time. I send it. Check it out if it is working or not. Ideally, it should work because it worked on Swagger. It should work on Postman also. Both are testing tools only. Unfortunately, Postman is taking too much of time at my end. So let's not test it on Postman. We already have tested on Swagger. So let's revisit the Swagger again. So all the operation over here, you know, creating group, updating group, get all groups for a user, get a group by ID, and delete group. All these operations are working very nicely, right? So all we did is, we have implemented the CRUD operation for group. We get the code generated from ChatGPT itself, right? And all seems to be working very nicely, and that too with the base practice of following C# for best practices followed for C Sharp and Entity Framework code, right? So that's it in this video. We will see you in the next video. In the next video, we will continue with creating CRUD operations for context. Right. So stay tuned and see you in the next video. And thanks for watching, guys.